Welcome to the Homeschool Together podcast. Where one working mom and a stay-at-home dad help you navigate the nuts and bolts of the growing and dynamic world of homeschooling.
With a focus on early learners, like me.
All the ins and outs of building and maintaining your homeschool life.
Homeschool.
Find out tips and tricks to make things like this easier.
I'm reading.
And ultimately, enjoy educating your kids. And what's that last thing?
Have fun together. Did I do good, Daddy?
Yeah, you did, sweetie. Good job. Welcome to Homeschool Together podcast short bite edition. We're going to talk about a great game from Blue Orange Games. Blue Orange, I know it's a very odd name.
They have a lot of great games.
They have a lot of great games. And today we're going to be talking about Planet, one of their new games that we've gotten in the last maybe 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was a pandemic pickup in.
Yeah, well, it was on sale. I mean,
hey, might as
but
well.
You know, it's a terrific game. It's tactile.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. Like, what is the game?
So the whole concept, and sometimes game concepts go well with the mechanic, and sometimes they kind of just like it's window dressing on the mechanic. I think this one goes fairly well.
It does, yes.
But so the concept is that you are you're creating a planet, and you need to have and so you actually have a little plastic. It's a dodecahedron, right?
Dodecahedron. Yeah.
Right. There's 20 sides.
20 sides.
There's 20 sides, and the sides are each pentagons.
Yes.
Kind of like Catan tiles. So you have this plastic thing, and then inside there's metal in there. So you have these little 5-sided tiles that are magnets, and they stick onto your dodecahedron. So this is a game for 2 to 4 players. So it's great. You have this tactile thing, and the whole idea is that you are snapping these tiles onto your own planet, and when you get enough of certain amounts of area, then animals can come and live on your planet.
And so if everybody knows, if you can think back, sort of like Catan or like Carcassonne, or if some people have played like King Domino, most people may not know.
Maybe you don't know any of these games. Basically, these are all games that rely on tiles, right?
Tiles,
so
yes.
This game, as well, is played in rounds. So what you'll do is you'll have a stack of tiles, like 5 tiles, let's say.
And the tiles are, water, forests, sand, deserts, Arctic, all the different areas within a planet.
There's 5 types. You've got your desert, your glacier, your forest, your mountain, and ocean. So your 5 types, right? So every round, and I think there's 20 rounds in the game, there are 5 tiles there. So you spread the 5 tiles out for everyone to see at the same time, and whoever's turn it is first, they draw the first tile, and then everybody gets to choose in order from that same pool of 5 tiles, right? And then at the end of that round, the first player chip will pass to the next person. So then if you got first choice on the first round, I would get first choice on the second round, and then it would go on. And so you take your tile and you put it anywhere you want on your planet.
In any orientation.
Any orientation. It doesn't have to match. There's no domino effect with any of this. That's not what it's about. And you get a few rounds in, and then there are cards that are on the table. So at the end of that round, where you've placed your magnet wherever you want to place it, there's a card there that's got, let's say, a picture of a certain animal type, a fox, let's say. And the fox will be awarded to the person who has the largest area of forest that touches mountain. Yeah. Let's say. And so
these are basically achievements based on the configuration
the
of the little planet that has the tiles on it.
Right. So then you'll all look at your planet, and I'm going, okay, well, I have a region of 8 that touches a mountain, and Matt's got a region of 9. Okay, so he would get that, and there's points associated with these different animals.
And then when you go through about 8 or 9 rounds of that, and then at the end you just count up your points and see who has the most points.
Right. And there's also a secret goal. So everyone has a secret goal of a certain terrain type.
Yeah,
so
you get that at the beginning. Yes.
Right. And the more tiles of that one that you get, the more points you get. But it adds a cool complication. So the animals are worth 1 point if the color of that card is your secret, a thing you're going for. Because let's say mine's ocean. I'm incentivized because I get extra points for all the ocean tiles I get. I'm incentivized to pick up ocean tiles. So if I score on animals that are mostly ocean animals, I get less points for those. Then if I score on animals, I get double the points. I get 2 points for any cards
So
that
they have
are
the
not
incentive
animals.
for you to choose between
Not ocean animals.
your objective and, winning more tiles that are, of different animal types that are on land that's different than your objective.
Right.
So you have to make that kind of choice during the game. Do I go for my objective or do I go for, the tiles? And I've tried to play this game multiple different ways, and they have geared the game dynamics in such an elegant way that it's really hard if you say, okay, I'm just going to go for my objective. Well, you're not going to score as many points, but you might do well if the cards come up the way you want them. But okay, fine, I'm going to ignore my objective and go all the way towards, getting, animal cards that are different than my objective. And I've struggled with that one too. So it's like you really need to do a combination of both to really do your best. And so they've really geared the game for you to make a lot of decisions through the game. And there's a great element of luck, which is something you like.
Right, I do, because you don't know what those tiles are that you're going to turn over. So there's some great strategy involved where you're looking at the tiles, and I'm counting on your planet to see how many spaces you have, and I'm counting on mine, and I'm looking at the cards coming up that I want to score on and trying to think about which ones might I be able to get. So there's some great strategy elements. Of course there's all the math that's involved. You're doing some probabilities and things. What I really love about it is it's tactile. Our 5-year-old can play with us, even though she's not a super strategist yet. She's
not looking at the cards. She just enjoys building the planet.
She enjoys building the planet, but she can look ahead, and we've talked to her about, she goes, I want the whale up there. And well, if you want the whale card, that means you have to build the area that's the largest water, not touching a glacier or something like that. And and then she works towards that goal. So
she's also
she has
good
an objective.
At her objective card too. She knows I need all the water tiles, and so she'll just go for water tiles.
Right, and she scores really well, and so she's learning these scoring mechanisms and being competitive, and she loves the tactileness of the planet. I would say, though our 5-year-old can play it, this is probably a game that would be best for maybe 6 or 7 up. I would say would probably be better. But we've played this game with grandparents.
It does not require reading, does not require math.
Right. There's no reading requirements. I mean, there's simple addition.
Yeah, simple addition
is all that's required for it. But it's got a great dynamic. These are just really well made. The dodecahedrons are really well made. The tiles are super heavy magnet tiles.
It's difficult once the whole thing is almost filled and you're trying to turn it and figure out that
and not knock a tile off.
Yeah, you can knock one off here and there, but it's really, you're right, it is a really well-built game.
It's fun, it's fast. I think the whole game maybe plays in 25 minutes or so.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not long. We also added in, because Matthew is such a strategist, so there's a different variant where going forward, each round has multiple animal cards that you can try to score on, and you can actually have half of those cards be face down so that you don't know what's coming up to be scored until you get there. That's my preferred way to play with this one.
Yeah.
Because he'll think 8 moves ahead, and I'm not there. And so we also do that with our daughter too, and she really loves that, because then even mommy and daddy can't strategize too far in advance either.
And she'll quote unquote stumble into winning a card because she didn't, we didn't know what was coming.
We didn't, but she definitely she puts her eye on an objective, and she's then trying to figure out, okay, this is my goal. How do I get there? Okay, mommy, daddy, what do I need? We tell her, okay, this is the configuration you'll need to win this card, and then she's laser focused on it, and she's counting all of them, and it's a terrific game for that. And I think just a great tactile game. It's a mechanic I have not seen used anywhere, so I really appreciate that about it.
Yeah, so get out there, get a great copy. It's a great game for people who maybe don't like games as much.
Right, yeah. Not a lot of complicated mechanics, no reading or lengthy turns.
If somebody out there likes Carcassonne, it's a pretty popular game. If they like tile games, they like playing tiles down on the game, or they like playing dominoes and that type of thing, this may be a good game to kind of get them into. You can pick it up anywhere. We'll have it down in the show notes. head out there, get Planet by Blue Orange.
Thanks so much for joining us today and making us a part of your homeschool journey. Please engage with us on social media. Join our Homeschool Together podcast group on Facebook and find us at Homeschool Together Podcast on Instagram. We'd love to hear your feedback, questions, and recommendations. Until next time,
Happy homeschooling!